أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانهر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. This, as you know, is the shortest surah in the Quran. If you look at you basically see about 10 words in it. But if you separate each ism and fail and harf, there are about 18 kalimat in it. Again, shortest surah. And if you all remember the challenge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually posed in the Quran for anyone to actually bring any any part of the Quran which equals in eloquence as that part does. Even this shortest surah, nobody could actually resemble that. Nobody could actually fulfill that challenge. I think Brother Hamza wrote this out of UK. He actually wrote a very long article on just the beauty and eloquence of just this one surah itself. So he picked the shortest surah because that would have been the easiest for somebody to attempt. So he showed all the different linguistic and structures that how beautiful this surah is and how it has not never been able to be matched by anybody. Even the Arab whose mother tongue is Arabic still could not actually match it. So, subhanallah, this is one of the signs of the divine origin of this book. So we begin the analysis of this surah. Ayah number 1. Inna a'tayna kal kawthar. So inna, as we know, is um, made up of two parts, which inna plus na. Inna we know is harfu tawkidin wa nasbin, and na is damir muttasil fi mahalli nasbin ismu inna. Ismu inna. And then a'tayna, again there are three parts, a'ta, na, and ka. So a'ta is fi'l madi, مبني على سكون. نا is ضمير متصل في محل رفع فاعل, and ka is مفعول به أول. We will, once we look at the meaning of ata, we will find out that this is a doubly transitive verb, so it requires two مفعول به. And then Kawthar is مفعول به ثانٍ. Okay. And then we are still missing the khabar inna. So this jumla, أعطيناك الكوثر, this jumla فعلية في محل رفع خبر inna. And of course, needless to say, that this initial jumla, okay, which is a jumla ismiya, is la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. It's a jumla ibtida'iyya. Okay. Inna a'tayna kal kawthar. Very simple structure. It's a jumla ismiya. The outer sentence is jumla ismiya, with the ismu inna being the na, and a'tayna kal kawthar jumla fi'liya is the khabar inna. And that jumla fi'liya contains the fi'l madi, a'tay. Na is a fa'il, and ka is a maf'ul bihi number 1, and kawthar is maf'ul bihi number 2. If you look at the meanings, inna means indeed, we, and this we is the royal we, goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. and then a'tai, the root for that is ata, ain, ta, waw, ya'tu, atwan. It's a bab nasara. This is the root. We need to take something in the hand. And then a'ta yu'ti, ita'an. It's a bab if'al, form 4. It's a doubly transitive. Okay? It is um, doubly transitive verb. Means to give, to grant, or present something to someone. Okay. So if you connect it with the root, Tulasi Mujarrad, to take something in hand, you can kind of make the causative meaning from form 4, a'ta to basically make someone take something in their hand, or in other words, to give someone something in their hand. Okay? That's what essentially what the giving or the granting means. And one interesting thing I found was that we know that there is another verb which is also form 4, ata yuti ita'an, which is also used in the Quran, by the way, has a meaning of giving. But the difference between between ata and a'ta is that a'ta has a meaning of giving as a favor, but the meaning of ata can actually be used both for obligatory giving as well as giving as a favor. Okay, so the ata has both meanings, but ata is basically means to give as a favor. Um, so okay, so this just wanted to bring that up. So ata, to give something to someone. So from that perspective, you can clearly see that we will need two mafulun bihi. So if we go back to our ayah, so a'tayna kal kawthar. So na being the fa'il, and that na goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, we, and then I'll just write again, we, in order to bring that emphasis. We granted you. Now, this you goes to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Kawthar, we granted you Al-Kawthar. If you look at the meaning of Al-Kawthar, the Sulasi Mujarrad verb is Kasura yaksuru kasratan. Okay. Bab Nasara again, to be much, numerous, to be multiplied, to be abundant. Another interesting verb in this family is form 6, Takathara yatakatharu, Takathara yatakatharu, takathuran. Okay, Alhakumut takathur. We know that um, the verb or the noun is used from this verb. Means to gather, to contend with one another for superiority in number. Okay. Some of the other nouns from this family are kathir. We have seen that, meaning many or numerous. Aksar, which is ismu tafdil, more than or most. Okay. And then kauthar, as in general, the meaning is abundance or multitude. But with the definite article al, okay, ma'rifa al-Kawthar, it basically means the name. It's a name of a river in the paradise. It's the name of a river in the paradise. And I've seen both translations, abundance and kind of that named river in the paradise as used in this ayah. Okay, indeed, we granted you um, the abundance, or you can also say just basically this is a name of the river. Okay, the river. Okay. We move on to ayah number 2. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar fa. Okay. Fa is harfu atf. Salli is fail amr. Mabniu ala. Let me write it actually. Mabniun ala hazfi harfi illa. Okay. Once we look at the actual um, verb, we will understand exactly what we mean. It's a naqis verb actually. Hazfi harfi illa. Fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu anta. تقديره أنت. لربي. So there are three here. Li, Rabbi, and Ka. حرف جر. Rabbi is اسم مجرور وهو مضاف, and Ka is مضاف إليه. And then one her. Wow is حرف عطف. And then in her is again فعل أمر مبني على سكون. فاعل مستتر تقديره أنت again. And this is معطوف على صلي. If you look at the meanings, I think previously you saw another related verb, but the root there was Sad Lam Ya, okay, which was to enter into or burn or to enter into to burn in fire. This is this looks similar, but it's actually it's a different verb. Sad Lam Wow, and there are two verbs actually in this. Saliwa Yasla, okay, and it's about Samia means to have the center of the back bent in. Okay. And then the other one is Sola Yaslu, this is Bab Nasara, to hit or hurt in the small of the back, in part of the back, to hit someone or hurt someone in the small of the back. And there's a long list of other very meanings on the same lines. I do recommend looking at Lane's lexicon for this. Okay. But the verb that um, we are seeing in this ayah is actually a Bab Taf'il, form 2. Salla yusalli tasliyatan means to pray. And then if it is used with the harf jar ala, it basically means to invoke God's peace and blessings upon someone. Okay? And usually it is the Prophet. Also means to bless. Okay? And then another word that we see in this, which is commonly used in the Quran, and we use it in our regular speech as well, which is salah, which is basically the prayers, the prescribed prayers which are offered, as well as it also means a blessing from Allah. Okay, a blessing from Allah. So salli is from salla yusalli, to pray. Okay. So so means so pray. So pray li rabbika. Here the harfajar li will be translated as to, not for, but to your Lord, one her. Okay. The verb behind one her is nahara yanhuru nahran. Nahran with it's a ha, not a ha. So bab nasara, and means to cut the throat of an animal or to slaughter an animal with the intention of a sacrifice. Okay, or to basically sacrifice an animal. And sacrifice. Okay, we granted you, indeed, we granted you the Al-Kawthar, the river in the paradise. So pray to your Lord and sacrifice. One her, sacrifice. And the last ayah is ayah number 3. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. So our favorite inna harfu tawkidin wa nasbin shani'aka shani'a and ka. Shani'a is ismu inna mansubun. Ka is mudaf ilayhi. And then huwa, there are two options. Let's go with the first one first. It is a damirul fasl. Damirul fasl. Damir of separating. And then alabtaru is khabru inna. Marfu'un. Okay, we can see the dhamma at the end. Another option is, or huwa is mubtada and alabtar is khabar, and this jumla ismiya fi mahalli raf'in khabar in. Okay, so that option also exists. Let's look at the meanings. Inna, indeed, shani'aka. So shani'a, shana'a yashna'u shananan. Okay, it's about fataha means to hate. And then shani'un is ismul fa'il, the one who hates. Okay, the one who hates. So shani'aka, okay, the one who hates you. Indeed, the one who hates you. Okay, huwa, okay, you can say he is al abtar. Okay, abtar comes from batara yabturu batran, bab nasara, to cut off, to sever, to disunite from one's relationships. To disunite from one's relationships. And then abtar is basically the one who is whose bloodline is cut off. Okay, one who is without any offsprings. Okay, also has the meaning of the one having the tail cut off. Okay, so the translation in this case is the one is he is the one cut off. He is the one cut off. Okay, and then kind of the interpretation that is done is in this world and in the hereafter. Yeah, he is the one who's cut off in this world and in the hereafter. So inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar, indeed we granted you the al-Kawthar. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar. So pray to your Lord and sacrifice. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. Indeed, the one who hates you, he is the one who is cut off in this world and the hereafter. Okay. Any question on Surat-al-Kawthar before we move on to Surat-al-Ma'un?
Yes, one har also comes in ba fatah, nahara, yanharo, nahran, and
Uh, okay,
ab,
I have. Okay, the dictionary I consulted did not give that option, or maybe I missed it. But
okay.
that may be the case. Okay,
And similarly, after it comes also in ba samea, batera yaptaro, battaram.
okay. Does it change the meaning?
No, no, it doesn't change me.
Okay, okay. Which dictionary, just for my reference, so that I
I use the Quranic dictionary by Chaudhry Abdus Salam.
okay, okay. I'm just looking at handswear. Handswear does not. The handswear only shows Nahara Janhuru. Actually, handswear is typically is good in actually giving alternate spellings. Um,
Actually, it's
Lane's
a Quranic dictionary by Lutfur Rahman Khan.
okay,
That's one also has it, correct.
okay, okay. Yeah, so the one that I looked at did not have it. No, you're right. Actually, Lane's lexicon also mentioned Nahara Yanharu. They did give that Bab Fataha as well. Correct. Okay. Jazakallah khair.